In this video, we're going to walk you through applying for a draw online. Before you begin, there's a few pieces of information you'll want to have handy. First, you're going to need your customer ID number. If you don't know your customer ID, you can use our Retrieval tool, and we'll put a link to that in the video description. Or you can call us at 602-942-3000, and we'll be happy to look it up for you. You're also going to need your valid hunting or hunt fish combo license number. And it's a good idea to also know your 4-digit hunt number and species selection you're going to be applying for. Okay, once you have those ready, let's go ahead and head to draw.azgfd.gov and we'll get started. So here we are at the Draw home screen. The only thing we really need to worry about right now on this page is clicking that gold Enter the Draw button in the center of the screen. That'll bring you to the Social Security number disclaimer page. Give that a read through and acknowledge that you have done so by clicking this top box. And then also click that you're not a robot. Once you see that green check, you can go ahead and click the gold Submit Acknowledgement button. That brings you to our screen where we'll add our first applicant, and we'll do that by clicking this brown Add Applicant button. Okay, here's where you're going to need your customer ID and your birth date. I'd also like to point out at the bottom left corner here is a link to that customer ID retrieval tool we mentioned earlier if you need to look up your ID. But we have a little test customer whose ID we know, so I'm going to go ahead and enter that in here. And date of birth. Once you have the ID and date of birth in, go ahead and click the green Add Customer to Application button. It's going to bring you to a screen that's going to ask for some more info. Some of it will auto-populate. Go ahead and make sure that your mailing address is correct. And then start answering the questions that didn't auto-populate, starting with your Social Security number. So we're going to say, yes, we have one, and we're going to enter it. Okay. The next section is about Arizona residency. Say, yes, we are a resident. It's going to ask you the type of resident. That's basically whether you're military or not. And then it's going to ask you how many years you've been a resident. And for our test person, it's about this long. The next section is going to ask you about that hunting or hunt fish combo license. We're going to say, yes, we have a valid license. And we're going to enter that number here. And then it's also going to ask you for your email. Once everything on this page looks good, go ahead and click the gold Add This Customer to My Application button. That's going to bring you to the Add Applicants Overview screen. It's where you're going to be able to make sure everything looks good with your first applicant. If not, we have the Edit button. It's also where you're going to be able to add applicants by clicking that brown button in the center of the screen. Or for us today, we're just going to continue with the one. So we're ready to go ahead and click the gold Submit Applicants and Continue button down at the bottom. Now, here we are in the Hunt Species Selection page, which of course the species are going to change depending on which draw you're putting in for. But the page and the way it works are going to be the same. So first we're going to select our species. And then I'm going to leave the I want to select hunts checked because we want to actually select our hunts. If you were just applying for a bonus point, you would go ahead and switch it to the I do not want to select hunts. And then you would continue. But we're going to leave that first I want to select hunts checked. And then we're going to click the gold Submit Species Selection and Continue button. Next, we'll bring you to the page where you can select your hunt choices. I'm just going to pick a couple at random here. Go through, make all your selections. Once they look good, go ahead and click the gold Submit Hunts and Continue button. Okay, that will bring you to our add-on screen. From here, you can do things like purchase our award-winning Arizona Wildlife Views magazine. You can purchase Point Guard or Point Guard Plus, or if you're feeling generous, you can make a donation. You don't have to do any of those to complete your application, of course, but you do need to answer that purchase point guard question. If I try and just submit add-ons and continue, it's going to say please select whether or not you would like to purchase point guard. So make sure you go ahead and select your option from the drop down. We're going to keep it simple, no add-ons today. But once you've answered that question, you can go ahead and click the submit add-ons and continue button. Now it will bring you to the application review. Make sure everything looks correct, that your hunt choices look good. If not, right in the center here, you can modify species, modify hunts, or modify add-ons. But everything looks good for us today, so I'm going to go ahead and hit the gold submit, review, and continue button. Okay, that's going to bring you to the payment screen. Everything should look right at this point. Go ahead and click the gold pay button. That's going to take you to our secure payment processor. Some of your information will auto-populate. Make sure everything does, and then also go ahead and enter in your credit card number. Once that's complete, go ahead and hit next. Okay, one last review. As long as everything looks good, go ahead and click that brown pay button. Great. This is our receipt. This is proof that you have applied for the draw. So go ahead and either print this out or take a screenshot, but definitely keep it for your records. From here, you can be done. You could close out your browser and be finished. If you want to return to the website, we have that button here. This makes it easy. If you want to go ahead and apply for different species, just go ahead and click that gold button and you can complete the process again. But otherwise, you're officially applied for the draw. So we hope that this video made the process even easier. And thank you for watching and best of luck in the draw.